We're at Advancing Preconstruction 2026, and I have got the wonderful Marc Apicella, founder and CEO at Belidor. Marc, how nice is it sitting here with the Preconstruction Ryder Cup trophy in between us?
I mean, it's great. I'm a little bit sunburned, but man, that's worth it for beating those darn Americans yesterday, you know?
Easy.
Okay. I am from there, so, you know,
Yeah,
let's be honest.
From New York, but originally from Italy. So that's how you qualify for the European Ryder Cup team. So let's get into Belidor.
Yeah,
Give us a bit of context. Give us a little bit about your journey. Obviously, serial entrepreneur. Give us an idea of growing up. What was it like? Did you always want to be entrepreneurial? Did you have any interest in construction growing up? Give us a bit of context.
So we can start with the near past. My brother is a general contractor in upstate New York. He builds custom homes, and he gave us a lot of the inspiration for Belidor after hearing a lot of the pains about how he works, which are very clear across the industry, a pattern. But growing up, my parents are something of entrepreneurs. They worked in healthcare. They owned their own clinics, built them up from nothing. And so when I was a kid, sitting around the dinner table, hearing my mom and dad, who were in business together, talking about how to run a business, talking about the pains about how it takes a lot of energy to go from nothing to building something, inspired me not only to be an entrepreneur, but also to help people. And so I think a big part for me when it comes to building a business and spending my time, it's really about what energizes me. And for me, it's two things: helping people and being creative, and building a construction technology company neatly fits under that umbrella.
Love it. There you are. So that's the inspiration. Advancing Preconstruction, you've been in the exhibitors. It's big.
Big booth.
There's a lot of, you've got a massive booth, but there's a lot of pre-construction technology companies in there. How refreshing is that? I mean, competition to me is healthy. But how have you been interacting with the other companies? Have you felt the warmth of the industry?
I love being here. I think the people who are our potential clients that are coming to this conference are amazing people. They're looking for help. They are exactly who we want to be speaking to, which is why we've invested a lot of time and energy into coming here and presenting ourselves in the way that we have. In terms of the competition, everyone's trying their hand at their own angle within construction, especially in pre-construction. And, let's see who comes out with the best solution for people. But we've gotten some rave reviews. People seem to like us, and the people who don't, I think a thing with this industry is working with the people who will provide you with your solutions.
Yeah.
Right? I think a really interesting thing about construction is that oftentimes these folks want to see things as black and white. But when it comes to software, and especially AI developed software, it's possible to develop things that are unique to them if they just share what their problems are and how they're working. And so for me, I like to encourage the people who we speak to, especially today and this week, if this doesn't fit 100% of what you need, just let us know.
Yeah.
And if we work together, we'll prioritize you. I'll be your partner. You can text me anytime you want. And if something isn't working or if something needs to change or evolve, as long as we're not reinventing the wheel, we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
And that's how I want to work. I want to be a partner to these people. Yeah.
Collaboration. And you see there, you mentioned that your booth hasn't stopped. It's been demos since it started. And I would imagine today and tomorrow will be the same.
Yeah.
Tell me now, for anybody listening here who hasn't got the Advancing Preconstruction, maybe hasn't heard of Belidor, tell me fundamentally what you're trying to solve.
So what we're doing is really we're helping with bid management. So that's bid leveling and creating your scope of work.
Okay.
You can't do bid leveling without having a scope of work. And so what we do is we help you generate that scope of work by sharing your specs and your plans. We automatically allow you to have a scope of work generated that links back to the documents that you share with us. We can then, if you use Building Connected, send your scope of work and your bid package to Building Connected for you to send out to bid. And then when those bids come back through Building Connected or wherever, we'll process the documents no matter the format, level them for you so you can choose who you want to award the project to by trade. So it's very simple, it's very user-friendly, and most importantly, saves people a lot of time and stress. Bid leveling is one of the most stressful parts of pre-construction. It's time crunched, and our goal is to really make sure that they are able to spend their time doing what really matters, which is negotiating, finding the right price, making sure that everything is there so that they don't have an error that bites them in the backside.
Yeah. So am I right in saying that it does a little bit of gap analysis as well? A little bit of risk?
We stick very strictly to creating, well, yes, a little bit of gap analysis, but it's more about what's in the plans, what's in the specs, and then the whole point of this, building technology, especially in the age of AI, is that it learns.
Yeah.
So what are those outlier parts in the plans that only an estimator from 20 years would understand because he understands the context of the project?
Yeah.
When you have those guys that can share that information with Belidor, we'll learn project after project so that eventually you can start to accelerate the progress and efficiency and proficiency of your younger estimators so that you feel comfortable giving them certain jobs. I think right now a big problem in the industry is there's not enough estimators, which you know
Yeah.
quite
Absolutely.
well. There's not enough estimators. People need more of these guys, but they need more guys that they can trust.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because the older guys have the knowledge from being on the job for decades.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that we're capturing that information and making it not only available, but reliable for these people so that they can trust younger guys and bring them up through the ranks. And I think that's a really awesome opportunity. But most importantly, it has to be easy to use.
Yeah.
And so we want to balance that user friendliness, intelligence, and usefulness so that they can bring it on and feel comfortable using Belidor in any project.
So Belidor would be almost a knowledge retention strategy. It could be sold as that, or
That's a big piece of how we see this developing over time.
because it's a big problem. I mean, when you look at the numbers over the next 5 to 10 years that's going to be retiring, and it's not it's not necessarily well, it is the numbers first and foremost, but it's the really smart people that seem to be heading on, and obviously they've been good mentors and they have trained people to a certain extent, but there's a lot of people after that won't have got that hands-on experience.
Right. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's not only scary for the industry and for the business owners, but it's scary for society.
Yeah.
What happens if construction slows down?
Yeah.
When you look at any city anywhere in the world, if there's cranes in the sky, it means that it's a great economy.
Yeah.
It means that there's business being done there. And so that can't slow. And so a big part of our mission is to accelerate construction significantly. And in order to do that, you have to capture that knowledge to make sure it's available. And the way that I see Belidor ideally progressing would be to have a piece of the product that educates people.
Yeah.
Not in a way that does the work for them, but in a way that, brings them under their wing like a senior estimator would. I had a conversation with a guy a few weeks ago. An estimator of 30 years retired. They're like, man, we have to find someone new. What do you think they did? They hired back that same estimator on a consulting basis and paid him 30% more than he was getting paid before. That's not right.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is. And so we have to make sure that we can capture the knowledge that that guy has and make it available to everyone. Because I also think construction is a really exciting industry for new grads to go into.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff that's being automated by AI doesn't necessarily apply to this industry, or it shouldn't, at the very least, if I have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Industries like healthcare, construction, education, where you have a unique link to your community, I think that should never be automated away by AI. We should make those roles and professions more proficient so that these people can contribute. And I see construction as a unique opportunity to capture that knowledge and bring in more people in the industry, hopefully making your life easier so you can recruit more estimators.
100%. And to be able to help with recruiting estimators, you need to have a tech stack that they're comfortable with and that they can use.
Right. That hasn't really existed in mass until recently.
Yeah. And we're seeing that from last year in San Diego, the amount of tech companies in the hall, they've doubled.
Really?
So that's good. That's good. Competition is good. Competition's thriving, it's driving everyone forward, and everyone's trying to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good thing.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you differentiate yourself? Like as an entrepreneur, when you think about strategy, you think about AI, you think about where you're at now, Belidor, where do you want to go to in 5 years?
In 5 years? It's a long time. Well, I think first and foremost, we strive to have a product that does three things. One, it must be user-friendly. That has not been the trend in construction tech ever. Shouldn't have to have it be onboarding or learning about modules for months and months. You should be able to open it up and use it, and it should make sense. Number two, it has to be transparent. So we're dealing with a lot of documentation, a lot of messy information, and you have to be able to make sure that everything that we're showing you links back to the document. And number three, it has to be reliable. Can't break on bid day.
Yeah.
And so these are the three things that we promise in our product, and that's happening right now. Over the next 5 years, I want to do two things. One is I want to own bid management from end to end. If we can carve out that niche, I would almost be happy if that's as deep and as wide as we go.
Yeah.
But the vision for Belidor is far bigger. I think if you think about construction, and especially construction data from first principles, if you can understand plans, specs, bids, materials, pricing, subcontractor information, and you can structure that information and learn from it over time, what's possible is you can go from idea or prompt in AI speak to being ready to build something in a matter of days to weeks. That's what I think is possible. You can say, I need a new hospital, and it should be ready to be built very, very quickly. That's a little bit sci-fi. That's very far in the future, but I think that's what we should strive to do, because society deserves construction to be built faster, more efficiently, and cheaper. That's what I want to do. In the next 5 years, I think we can get close.
Yeah. A lot of work to do, but I like it.
This is my life.
Yeah.
This is all I want to do. You know, if we're helping people, then I don't mind staying up late, traveling all over the place to make sure that it happens.
And you mentioned something there that, I mean, I speak to a lot of general contractors, not only over the last couple of days, but in my work for the last 9 years. The one thing they do is they don't like change in tech.
Yeah.
Think about the capital cost, the implementation, the training, the adaptation.
Yeah.
Tell me how Belidor are making that a little bit easier.
So I think it's important to think about why that is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say humans don't really like change. Sure. But specifically in construction, especially in pre-con, they don't like change because it takes a really long time to get really good at estimating. Longer than any other profession I've come across. Probably even longer than being a doctor, right? You could be on the job for 15 years and still not know everything.
Yeah.
And so having a process that works for you is really important. And threatening a change in that workflow makes people go crazy.
Yeah.
So what we like to do is three things. One, I'll come out and meet you wherever you are. I'll come out and sit with you, socialize the product, learn where your pain points are, so that we can make sure that we're building something that fits the way that you work. You know, certain boundary opportunities may be excluded. Then we say, okay, we know how you work. This is how we can add value to your team. Communicate with us. Let us know what isn't working. Let us know how you want this to work, because a big part of the way that we build Belidor is to fit exactly into their workflow. We want it to be easy to roll out, easy to understand, and reliable. And so for us, it's how do we reduce this friction? And it's doing things like we did yesterday, building relationships, letting them know they can trust me. They can call me anytime they want. I'll fly out, from Miami to Seattle to meet with you to make sure that our product is working for you in the way that you need it to work. Because if even a little bit makes them worse off or slower, then I haven't done my job. And frankly, that's not the way I even envision any product being rolled out, because there's so much at stake in construction where if you make an error or if you do something wrong, you can lose your business or you could go out of business. And we have to make sure that the product in its first day in your company works exactly for you. And so we say, collaborate with us a little bit. There's a lot of talk about the next big AEC company in tech being a services company. I don't know if that's true, but there is a flavor of that that's important, because you need to be able to sit down with your customer and really understand how they work, because everyone does things a little bit differently. And so we offer that sort of white glove service so that we can really intimately understand your team and make sure that we're building things that work for how they work today.
Yeah, I love it. The customization thing is crucial. That's what, when you speak to GCs, that's what they all want, because they all do something different. And even within companies, estimators do some things differently. So it's that'll be a task in itself. Talk to me now about product launch, about features. What features have we got now, or have we got coming?
So what we've built Belidor on was bid leveling. I love bid leveling because you get to see so many amazing data points that give you a really interesting picture about how a project is going to go. Materials, scopes of work, pricing, subcontractors, but you can't do bid leveling without having your scope of work. And so in the last few weeks, say the last 6 weeks, we've gone really hard on shipping features to do scope generation. So you share your specs and your plans. And what we do is we generate a scope of work that you can then push out to Building Connected, or you can send to your subcontractors so they can bid on the project. Some people are so busy that they don't even create a scope of work when they're inviting their subcontractors to bid, and then they have to rely on what their subcontractors see to figure out if they're going to award the project to them or not. It's a lot of solving puzzles.
Yeah.
But if you have the scope of work, it makes everyone's life easier, and we're now able to do that in under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You share your documents with us. We'll show you exactly what the scope of work is. And the most important thing here is that we're learning about the edge cases that you share with us. And so we're sitting down with subcontractors, we're sitting down with general contractors, and we're saying, we can do this scope of work for you, but we know that there are things in this project that maybe aren't on the plans, that aren't in the specs, that you would only be able to catch because you understand how things are built. Put that into the output. Let us learn from that. Because if we can understand that, we can make this even better for you time after time and catch those edge cases that is really what makes a project go forward or not. And so this was a huge engineering push from us. It's very user-friendly. It's very quick, all things considered. If it takes 2-3 weeks to build a scope of work, we can do it in a day for you. And most importantly is this piece about making it customized. And so what we're also offering with this new product, or sorry, it's not a new product, it's a new workflow, is we can do a white glove service where we'll embed ourselves in your estimating team. You share your documents with us. We have a few very smart and savvy estimators on our team that will sit down with you and say, okay, let's work to build your scope of work. We can set this product up for you when it's done. And by providing this sort of white glove experience, we learn how you guys work, we see your data, and we can set you up even better to use Belidor on your own afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's a new offering. It's a little bit unique, maybe in a way, but it's so important. You can't do this without having the scope of work.
It's almost like try before you buy. Kind of that.
Gareth, you have to do that. These guys need, and girls,
Yeah.
they need to see and feel and try this product before they buy.
Yeah.
Even pilots, they're like, we're cost sensitive. And I'm like, you know what? Try this.
Yeah.
Give it a whirl. If you like it, let's sit down with your broader team. We can figure out how to make this work for you.
What's the response been like so far? You've obviously gone into a few clients, did this. What's the feedback been like?
To quote an estimator that we both know, I showed him the product a week ago, and he said, he didn't use this word exactly, but he said, you're freaking blowing my mind. I can't believe this is what you've been doing since we last spoke. And so it's a huge value add to their team. The people who have visited our booth today have been like, this is amazing. I would love to bring this into our team. And so now it's just making sure that we can meet demand and making sure that it works exactly the way they need it to work. Because we really need to understand the nuances about their workflow. Because if they get it and it only does 80%, then we haven't done our job. And so we have to have this, hand-holding so that everyone feels comfortable.
Tell me now, Mark, big question mark, big concern from GCs is data and security. Talk to me about your thoughts on that.
So security, we're SOC 2 compliant. We're making sure that all of your data is only available and used by you. We cannot have any sort of data breaches, obviously. That's not even in our mind. But when it comes to data, excluding security, just to talk about data for a moment, we're in an era where data is the most important thing to making sure that you can supercharge your team. Yeah. And so by doing bid leveling and scope generation, we're hoping to structure your data as we go. But if you have structured data, or if you have data for past projects available, you can share it with us and we'll build that into the product for you so you can leverage that collective intelligence to make you smarter for every next project. I spoke to a GC out of Boston a few months ago, and we were talking about pulling data into Belidor, using their historical data to make them smarter. And he goes, that sounds awesome. I was like, I know, let's do it. And he goes, we can't. I was like, why? Like, you don't want to work with us? And he goes, no. I was like, I don't know where our data is. It's in old emails. It's in old files. It's spread out all over the place. This is a reputable GC. It's like, yeah, I even if I wanted to get you that data, I can't. And I was like, this is crazy. And so that's the struggle that the construction tech companies deal with is how do you build a go-to-market strategy and a product strategy where you have to structure the data for them.
Yeah. And that's part of the package, I take it. Like being able to go on, find the data points that you need, go and get a historical project, and then put it in a manner that it's then usable going forward.
That's not a requirement for using the product, and that's the whole point. Is if you wanted to use Belidor today, it's user friendly enough that you can open it up and use it and get it immediately. But you don't need historical project data to start doing bid leveling. You don't need historical project data to do scope generation, but it helps.
So it's a plug and play.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Right.
Make it as user friendly as possible. I am a product designer. That's what I went to graduate school for. I worked in a lot of tech companies where I was doing product management and design. And I would never want to build a product that takes months and months to onboard their team. That takes months and months for them to understand how to use the product. So my goal is to make sure that if you want to, you can use Belidor today. But if you'd like to, you can share your data with us. We'll make it smarter for you. And so that's the offering that we provide.
And is that where it becomes really powerful whenever they share their data, put it into Belidor? Belidor just gets really powerful really quick.
Yeah, and so you can start from time zero and move forward, and Belidor will get smarter and smarter for you. Or you can start at time -10, share all that historical data with us, and it'll start smart when you start to use it.
Yeah.
But there's no point in building an AI product for anyone if it doesn't get smarter for you as you use it.
Yeah.
It has to understand your preferences. It has to understand exactly how you guys work, or else what's the point?
Yeah.
You're just building software from 2015.
Yeah.
You know, it's digitizing a workflow. My co-founder and we come from a background where I was building and researching recommendation systems at Google DeepMind when I was in graduate school. He was a consultant and an AI engineer at Boston Consulting Group, building some of the most powerful decision-making tools for the largest companies in the world. And part of what we do really well is understand your preferences and provide recommendations for you. That's like the technical bedrock of this company. And that's the only way that I would want to build any product for a construction company is let's learn how you work and let's make sure that we can recommend the best thing for your team, given the project, given the context. That's how I want to work.
That's a great finish, Mark. I love it. Listen, if there's people listening and they're saying, I'm on a bid leveling platform, but I'm looking to change, Belidor sounds good, where's the best place to contact you?
Well, if you're on a bid leveling platform, I'm shocked. Because everyone uses Excel. I mean, yes, maybe folks are on Building Connected. Yes, maybe folks are on Procore. Maybe. But most of the time, they're on Excel. If you want to find me, you can reach me on LinkedIn. It's Marc Anthony Apicella. It's my middle name.
Nice.
Or you can reach out at marc@belidor.ai. I will always answer you at any hour of the day or night. And most importantly is if you are on a bid leveling platform, you're on the wrong one. You need to come to Belidor. So
there you are, folks. Well, listen, I'll put both the email address and the LinkedIn URL at the show notes below. So go there, click, follow him, like his content. You'll get real value out of it, and let us know what you think of Belidor.
Thank you.
Mark, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Appreciate it.